What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Zoe with No Days Off DFS here to bring you that the last NBA slate breakdown for a little bit since we are coming up to the All-Star break. We got a 5-game slate today. Gonna give you guys my thoughts, my information. Whoop, scratch that. Hold on, redo. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Zoe, and here I'm gonna show you how to win $100,000 playing NBA DFS. That would actually be what I would say if I knew how the hell to win $100,000 to the one troll that keeps putting it inside my comment section. I'm not saying that I know exactly how to win 100,000. Just saying, if you take some of the information I'm giving you, you might have a chance to actually win $100,000. That's why it's called NBA DFS Breakdown and Best Picks. That's it. But back to our regular schedule program. We got a 5-game slate. Definitely a lot of injury news is going to come out. I will not be surprised if we see some of the stars rest because it is that All-Star break. It is that moment that they have been trying to get to. Anyone that has any type of ailment, a knee, a bum bump or something, they're going to probably sit out today. We're more than likely going to see that. News is already starting to roll out. We're seeing some questionable players. If they pop up questionable right now at 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they're more than likely out. And be prepared for some decent value on today's slate. Will not be surprised at all whatsoever. But looking at it, quick recap of last night. I scored a 304.5 and did not cash at all whatsoever. Decent ownership on some players. Definitely maybe could have faded some chalk. Bobo was the chalky play last night. Of course, we're seeing Bobo go off for 40, 50. Goes out there and gives us a 26. Now, some players that were lower owned who I thought should have been higher owned. Clean. I talked about it. He went out there, had a double-double. Went out there, 17 points. I think he had about 20 rebounds out there on the Joker last night. Not bad at all. If I would have got Trey Murphy to give me a decent night, I definitely do feel like I would have hit the cash line. And Jared Butler, he got the start over there for Philly once Tyrese Maxey was ruled out. I like the value. Figured that he would have had a decent upside. If he could have scored just a little bit better, he was lower owned than Kevin Porter Jr. for the Bucks, which of course once they decided they were going to start Rolo, was off of Kevin Porter Jr. Didn't see a need to play him. Went with Jared Butler, and then Ant-Man just couldn't hit side of a barn, and of course he's questionable tonight, so he's probably not even going to play versus the Thunder. But all in all, definitely some stuff to learn from last night. But went ahead and I posted my outline plays, and out of all the games I covered last night, I only missed 4 plays over here on the Pat. So definitely gave you guys some good value over here. If you guys were pick and choose, take your favorite plays, take the ones that you like, stick out. Or if you got someone on your ban list, don't play that person. Play what you like from over here. That's the point of me giving you guys this list, because I'm sitting doing the research for you. They're in good spots. DVP metrics, it matches up. They've hit this at a very good clip for the season. These are all the things that I look at. That's why I play alt lines and not the main lines. Now, Prize Picks, they've been trying to get me back apparently because they're giving me free slips. They gave me another one today, $20 free slips for today. They gave me one yesterday. So of course, did a little bit of research and boom, came up with a couple of plays that I liked over there on Shit Picks, as I like to call it. And as you can see, I went 50% last night. Jaren Jackson Jr., horrible night for him. Dyson Daniels, even with the game going to OT, he finished with 8 RA. Wemby went all through the third quarter and into the fourth. 5 minutes left in the fourth. Was stuck at 13 field goal attempts. Did not take a shot for nothing. End of the game, too short. That sucks. Curry, decent night. Of course, he cashed the fantasy point score, but hooked on his 3 points made. And then Evan Mobley, it was just belt to ass out there for the Cavs taking on Toronto. So it is what it is. I will have another list tonight. Hopefully, once we get injury news and stuff, it shakes out. Depends on how it goes. I will try to get another list out for Shit Picks tonight as well. All this stuff right there, you can get access to that if you check the link down in the description below for the Patreon. $5 makes your money back. Check the link for that down below. All right, getting on over to it. Of course, we got the somewhat injury report that we can actually look over and go over for today. It's going to change. Like, I guarantee it's going to change. We haven't gotten any news out of here for Sacramento, so that's okay, decent. I would imagine maybe someone, DeMar. I know he's been on a little bit of a heater. Maybe Zach. I don't know, but pay attention to that right there. On New Orleans Pelicans side, Zion has already been ruled out. We saw, I really don't know how to say his name. Carlo, there we go. Carlo start one game before when Zion missed, so maybe he might actually get to start here again. Definitely be interesting. Jose Alvarado might be in the starting lineup. Who knows? But we will have that news, of course, before the other game tips. Now, the only reason why I say Carlo might get the start is because I think Bruce Brown could possibly get the start here. And they put Trey Murphy back to somewhat a more naturalist position for him, which is the 3. Well, it's the 4, which he normally plays. So definitely will want to know who's going to start over here for the Pelicans, because I actually do like Bruce Brown tonight, especially if he does get to start. Over here, Golden State Warriors. Steve Kerr, he said that they're going to get in at like 3 a.m. to Houston for them back-to-back, of course, leaving from where they're going to have to play going against Houston. Big thing right here, he doesn't know if his vets are going to play. Doesn't know if Curry's going to play, Jimmy's going to play, if Draymond Green's going to play. Another game, we're going to get the tip at 8. We should actually have that news to know if it's going to be the young guys like Pod, Moses Moody, Buddy Hield, Post, things like that. Or are we going to actually get Curry in them? Are they going to be on a short leash, whatnot? We should know that before the game actually tips. Over here, Houston Rockets on their side. Şengün would be a candidate to possibly rest today, considering that he was going into the day with a sore back. So definitely would pay attention to that, make sure he's actually going to be in. We already know Tari Eason does not play in back-to-back, so he's already been ruled out. But I don't know why they have this flip-flop. Amen is the starting point guard, Jalen Green is the 2. I don't know why the site is doing that at all. Miami taking on Dallas. We're already getting some word out. Bam, game time decision. Might actually miss. Kevin Love, he's been ruled out. Duncan Robinson, game time decision for him as well. Definitely, of course, if Bam is going to be out, this is going to just be straight up the young guys. Kiro, all that. They're on the back end of every team is actually on the back end of back-to-back, so I don't actually have to keep saying that for this. On Dallas side, of course, we know they are shorter than short. They have like a 8-man rotation that they had to run last night versus Golden State Warriors. Played hella minutes out there. And still was able to go out there and get the dub versus the Dubs. So pay attention to this over here. Dante Exum, game time decision. That just popped up recently in regards to if he's going to actually be able to play or not tonight. I would be surprised. Kyrie Irving, of course, Kyrie, Max Christie in the starting lineup. Clay, he would be a candidate to actually be rested in my eyes, because they can run some of their third string guards out here if they decide to, but we just really do have to get the news in regards to what's going on with that. Thunder on their back end of a back-to-back. Chet Holmgren, he is going to play. That's already been put out. That's why he was rested yesterday. Dang has already been ruled out. Wallace has been ruled out. Alex Caruso just got ruled out like 5 minutes ago. Minnesota Timberwolves side, Anthony Edwards just popped up on the injury report as questionable. I imagine he's going to be out. I straight up imagine he is going to be out. Rudy Gobert, game time decision. Mike Conley, game time decision. I honestly, you're going to lose this game either way. No matter how you cut it, no matter how you spread it, no matter how you look at it, they're going to lose. It to me doesn't matter. I would just rest all these guys. Play your young guys. Go ahead, get your ass whooping, because you play this again when we come back from the break anyway. Just take it. Los Angeles Clippers on their side, definitely, of course, Kawhi Leonard, we already know he's going to be out. I would imagine maybe some limited minutes for James Harden and Zubac, because it is the Utah Jazz, who has everybody pretty much in their starting lineup as a game time decision. We don't know who's going to play. So, as you guys can tell from this brief trying to figure out the injury report, this is going to be very chaotic last slate before the All-Star break. It's going to be just... You got to pay attention to the news. We don't know who's actually going to be playing from half of these teams. The only person I can tell you for sure that's going to play tonight, SGA is going to play. SGA is going to be out there. He's going to play his minutes. And Chet Holmgren. Chet's going to play. That's all I can really tell you, because I know my Thunder. Heading on over to DraftKings, decided to play the most on the site. If you guys don't got an account, you want one, check the link down in the description below so you guys get that deposit match bonus and join your boy over here on the King. Starting out with the Golden State Warriors, looking at them over here. Depending on who is actually going to play, who's going to be out there, honestly, from the Warriors, if Curry's going to play, I don't mind Curry. Definitely makes for a spend up option, especially depending on what other studs we actually have on the slate. But if Curry is going to be out and they are going to run the young guys, Podominski, of course, you know, I'm going to want to go right back there. Buddy Hield, long as he's actually going to be out there, definitely I wouldn't mind getting to him. Pod's already been playing decent minutes off the bench, so 30 plus minutes for him. Going up against Houston young guys as well, who typically play pretty crappy on back-to-backs, which we've seen a number of times for them now. I don't mind going over there. And then Quentin Post, if he doesn't have to deal with Şengün, or even if he does have to deal with him, limited minutes last night, 12 minutes, but could see those minutes tick up if Draymond Green and things like that are going to be out. Moses Moody, we do know that 27 minutes, didn't get the start last night versus the Mavericks, like how we thought they would have ran that small ball lineup, but possibly if Jimmy Butler or something like that is out, might be inside the starting line. Again, Moody, Buddy, and Podominski, those will be the main 3 guys, young guys, that I want to get from the Warriors. They are the safer ones I do feel like are safe, whether or not if Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green do play. If the main vets do play, Steph Curry, he's been on a tear. I don't mind him. 47 wasn't bad last night at 8,900. I can go right back there again. I take it. over here on the Houston Rockets side, I will say I will temper my expectations to the Rockets, especially I know that Amen is coming off of another triple-double last night, got there in typical Amen fashion, 18 points, 11 assists, 10 rebounds. He has not been great on back-to-backs. Take it right here. Going up against Dallas, 37 minutes, 41.25 fantasy points versus Toronto the next night. Played 41 minutes, 34.5 fantasy points. Should be able to put up, if not more, versus a Toronto Raptors team on the second night of a back-to-back. Right here on the third and the fourth versus New York, 37 minutes. He dropped 64.25 fantasy points. Second night versus the Brooklyn Shitters. Went out there and dropped 35 fantasy points. See if I can't find one more for you guys. Versus Boston, 42 minutes, dropped 54.25 fantasy points. Second night versus Atlanta, 31 minutes, 28.75 fantasy points. It's just typically a trend. He's going to give us less fantasy points on his back-to-back. Now, that just makes for a really great GPP option, because if I'm noticing that, maybe other people are like, you know what? He's pretty shitty on back-to-backs. Might be lower owned. Definitely, if you're making multiple lines, I don't mind it as a GPP option. Definitely can go there if you want to. But I will say, back-to-backs, that's typically a world where we can see our boy Cam Whitmore go out here, get some more minutes, go out there and ball out in those exact same games. Versus the Brooklyn Nets, 24 minutes, 19.75 fantasy points. Versus Toronto Raptors, 25 minutes, 27 fantasy points. Versus Atlanta, 20 minutes, 11.5. I'll take it. Couldn't hit any of his threes. 1 of 4 from the field. Whatever. Still, 4,300. You guys already know. Very much a Cam Whitmore lover. Wouldn't mind getting there as a possible play from it. Especially no Tari Eason, and should be some more minutes to go around right there for him. Outside of that, again, I stick with just young guys, but knowing the Houston Rockets, they might be checked out and ready for the break themselves as well. Deshaun Tate, depending on if Şengün is in or out, definitely could be someone that we could see some more minutes for. 3,500, 15 minutes in his last couple of games. Did not, he played 15 minutes last night. Maybe we can get there. Not really giving us the best, but GPP-ish option that's just some value. Reed Shepherd, definitely someone who I will always tend to look to, especially if he's going to possibly get more minutes because players are sitting, resting, or something like that, or maybe the game gets out of hand. I don't mind getting right there to him. Outside of that, of course, if you want to play the main guy, Şengün, take the chance on the men, Jalen Green, those are all places you can actually get to. Sacramento Kings taking on New Orleans Pelicans. If the injury report stays the same exactly how it is, nothing changes over here, then we already know the Pelicans. This is a great team that we want to go ahead and get players going up against. Sabonis, prime matchup. Centers versus the Pelicans. Of course, it's been a thing consistently. Sabonis in all 3 games that he has faced versus them has dropped 47 or more fantasy points in all 3 games. Malik Monk in the games going up against the Pelicans, he's dropped 25, 32 fantasy points versus them. So definitely we can go ahead and play Malik Monk here in another great spot that he's in. DeMar DeRozan, who seems to be taking over as like the catalyst for this team right now. Well, honestly, to me, a rest candidate. We can go right back to him, go back to the well. Now, yes, I do know they literally just played last night. This is just the weirdest. I don't know who the hell made the NBA schedule. I really don't know who made the NBA schedule. This is just poor planning. Honestly, if we're going to be very honest with this. But just go right back to the spots that have been pretty great and have been pretty good. That would be the only other thing I could think. Now, I know Keon Ellis last night, he popped off crazy. Didn't expect for him to be able to go out there and give this big performance. But 29 minutes, 43.75 fantasy points. Am I going to chase that? I mean, he dropped 28 versus them a couple games ago too. Maybe something in the water down in New Orleans that he just likes. So definitely would be in contention, possible to play. Maybe we look more towards some of the other guys on the bench, but I'll just say I'm going to stick with the starters, stick with what has actually worked. Hopefully this will be the last time that these guys actually have to play each other. On New Orleans Pelicans side, Zion's already been ruled out. I do like going right back to Trey Murphy, CJ McCollum. Both of those guys will be in play for me. Jose Alvarado, as long as he's going to go out there and play 30 plus minutes, definitely, of course, be in contention. We know the dude, we can go out there and play like his hair's on fire. Definitely don't mind that. And then, of course, because Zion is going to be out, depending on who they start. If they start Bruce Brown at 4,400, he played 26 minutes off the bench, 11.25 fantasy points. We know Bruce Brown can go ahead and give us some really great fantasy point numbers whenever he's given the role, the minutes and everything. No Zion, maybe we can see a couple more shot attempts, some playmaking or something like that, rebound upside from Bruce. So I wouldn't mind taking a chance on him. But if they do start Carlo, I'm gonna play Carlo. 32 minutes, getting some huge minutes right there. 27 fantasy points, 30 minutes, 28, 27, 26. So the upside's there. Pretty good fantasy point per minute player. Miami taking on Dallas, depending on who's in and out. If Bam's out, Khalil Ware, that's going to be up for me right there. Of course, rookie giving us some mixing pots in regards to what he actually can go out there and give us. But when he's taking the shot attempts, we know he can actually go out there and deliver, block upside, things like that. Wouldn't mind taking a stab at Ware. Outside of Ware, Nikola Jovic, of course, would be another player I would want to get to. Young guy should go out there and play the minutes. No matter if this game is close, loss, whatever, he's going to be able to go out there and benefit. Jaime Jaquez didn't play a lick last night, was said that he was good to go and able to play. I would imagine Jaime is going to play tonight. Jaime might actually get extended running minutes, especially because I swear I just seen something saying that Andrew Wiggins might be out tonight. Let me see if I can't find that one right here. Casey Wallace, Klay Thompson, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, personal ruled out. Terry Rozier, he's been ruled out. Yep, Andrew Wiggins, he's out. So I would imagine Jaime Jaquez might be able to see extended burn, extended run, maybe put into the starting lineup. Jaime Jaquez is a good play, especially at 4K. We know what he was doing when he was getting extended burn. 22 minutes for Chicago, 28 fantasy points. 23 minutes for San Antonio Spurs, 20 fantasy points. I'm not even going to go through the whole list, but Jaime Jaquez makes for a really great play. If they're going to continue to start Davion Mitchell, 35 minutes last night, 21.75 fantasy points. Another value piece that you can get to. But of course, we're going to have to figure out what studs are we going to actually play on today's slate. On the other side for Dallas, depending on who's in over here for Dallas, either way, they're going to be shorthanded. For them, definitely we could look towards Edwards. Look towards Edwards, one of the bigger players that they got. Prosper. If they're going to go ahead and give him his run, he played 24 minutes last night. Decent. Not the greatest fantasy point per minute producer. I would say my favorite, of course, will be Max Christie, who has excelled since he's gotten over here and definitely showing that one of the reasons why they didn't get another first round pick for Luka when he went was because, to me, I think maybe they valued Max Christie as a first round pick. That's just how I'm seeing it right now. But Max Christie definitely, of course, in play. And then Kyrie, I'm not even going to beat the dead horse. If Kyrie's in, it's Kyrie. Like, they don't have enough players to play when we look at it. Like I said, Edwards down here at that 3,800 price tag, 33 minutes last night, 29.5 fantasy points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 blocks, 2 steals, 4 points. Do I think he's going to go out here and get 3 blocks and 2 steals again? Yes, I do. OKC taking on Minnesota. Chet's back in the role and in line tonight. I'm not going to mess with Hartenstein. I'm not going to mess with Dort. Not going to mess with Jalen Williams, the other big. Not going to mess with J-Dub, the power forward. SGA would be the only one that I think would remotely be safe, even with Chet playing, because he still has a floor of 40-ish fantasy points. Now, if they decide that they want to give SGA rest here and they want to go ahead and sit out Dub as well, just because maybe Minnesota does actually go ahead and rest and they rest Mike Conley, they rest Rudy Gobert, there's no point in running out your main guys. Just go ahead and give them that extra rest, especially the ones that are going to be playing in the All-Star weekend. Andrew Wiggins will be exactly where I go right back to, because we've seen it time and time again. People miss the dude fresh off of 48.25 fantasy points, and that's not including the 66.5 when he dropped 41 actual points. So Andrew Wiggins will be primarily de facto number 1 I'd want to plug in right there. And then if all those other players are missing and Chet's going to just be out there with role players, I wouldn't mind taking a stab at Chet. Maybe we can see 28 minutes before going into the break. That'd be interesting. With that being said, I do imagine everyone is going, like our starters are going to play just because they're trying to get the reps in the minutes since we are leading up to the break. You got Chet back. We're trying to acclimate him. So, but Andrew Wiggins will probably be one of my more favorable, well, Aaron Wiggins will probably be one of my more favorable plays just because we could see some people limited in something like that. Outside of that, if you want to take a stab at Joe Williams off the bench, just because there is no Wallace, there is no Alex Caruso, there is no Dang, be my guess, but not really going to mess right with that over there. Minnesota on their side, Anthony Edwards, like I said, I fully think that he is going to be out. More injury news is coming out. Ben Simmons condition out, injury report. KJ Martin ruled out. Jordan Clarkson ruled out. So we might get Colin Sexton back. Hopefully the news for Utah continues to roll out as I finish this recording. But on the Minnesota side, I don't think Ant plays. If Ant's going to be out, then I like Jaden McDaniels, especially if Rudy's going to be out, something like that. Rebound upside is great. Was pretty close to getting a double-double, which I had him last night for a double-double, just too short. I do think he could definitely do that here today, especially because he should just play minutes regardless. As long as he keeps himself out of foul trouble, he's going to be out there trying to guard Shea, but nobody can guard Shea. Outside of Jaden McDaniels, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, of course, we go to him, especially if Conley's going to be out. He should slide right back into the starting lineup. Dillingham, we already know that he's going to play sparing minutes, not going to play over 25 minutes just because it's Dillingham. Even if everyone misses, they're still not going to give him all the minutes and burn. Jaden Clark, we've been seeing some minutes here and there for him. He makes for a GPP option if all those other guys are ruled out. Same thing for Shannon Jr. His minutes are somehow ticking up versus Milwaukee last night. 20 minutes, 30.25 fantasy points. If we're going to get that again here tonight, no Mike Conley, no Anthony Edwards, I definitely will look in that direction to him. I'm not going to mess with Ingles. Luke Garza, only if Rudy Gobert is out. You are going to have to consider Luke Garza. But I would say, if Jaden McDaniels is going to be out there with nobody else and it's just him, Naz Reid, and a bunch of bench players, fire up Jaden McDaniels, man. Naz, you can't go wrong there, but Jaden McDaniels would be my favorite out of the two, especially just price point and everything. And then I would take a stab at Shannon or Clark right there as well. Last game of the slate, we got the Los Angeles Clippers taking on Utah Jazz. We should definitely be getting some news as well from the Clippers. I imagine somebody should be resting over here, especially from their main players outside of Kawhi Leonard. Now, looks like Ben Simmons might be playing tonight. That'll be interesting. I will say outside over here, I mean, Zubac, of course, this is Utah Jazz. Everybody in the starting lineup is in play. Harden, Zubac, Norman Powell. If those guys are going to be there, Utah plays much better at home, but I don't know who's playing for Utah. Everybody on their roster is a game time decision. This game could be done by the first half. There's no telling at all. If you want to play it for Harden, go right ahead. You want to play it for Big Zoo, go ahead. I think Powell, Derek Jones Jr., Coffee, those would be more safer plays that I wouldn't mind getting to and possibly could see as options that we can get to. On the Utah Jazz side, I can't endorse anything over here except for Collier. That's the only one. 6,200. The dude's been pretty consistent. Long as that scoring is going to continue for him, I'll continue to play him. 30.75, 33, 27, 41, 47. And it's because the assists, the playmaking, that's been there for him. 8 assists seems to be the floor that we could take him at. Long as he's able to score double digits, maybe get us a double-double with his assist, I don't mind playing the kid. 6,200 makes for a safe, in my eyes, late night hammer. Safe. Now with Jordan Clarkson being ruled out, I would imagine more minutes for Keontae George. Keontae George should get put back into the starting lineup. You're going to have to play somebody. Keontae George would be someone else that you can consider. Versus the Lakers last night, 33 minutes, shot 47.75 fantasy points. Boy was on fire. That's the thing about the Jazz. They pass the ball very well. For all of your guards, even when Sexton plays, can go out there and get you. Sexton's the one that gets you about maybe 5 to 6 assists. But Keontae George and Collier, both of them to almost have double-digit assists continuously playing with each other. That's something special right there, especially from your guards. That's really great, really good. But all right, guys, that's going to do it for me. That's the breakdown. Hopefully, you guys are able to get a little something from this. Good luck to everybody. Enjoy the All-Star break. Don't be degenerate gamblers. Take a break, reset, chill, relax. Maybe throw something on the All-Star game. I got Dame Lillard to go ahead and get his three-peat out there for defending the three-point contest. Dame's in it. Dude's been shooting lights out. Competitive spirit. All right, guys. Good luck. Peace.